The story of the crystal ball. In the south of the Spain, there was a small village whose people were very joyful. The children played under the shades of the trees in the gardens of their homes. A shepherd boy named Nasir stayed near the village with his father, mother, and the grandmother. Each morning he took his herd of goats up to the hills to find a suitable place for them to graze. In the afternoon, he could return with them to the village. Each night, his grandmother would tell him a story, the story of the stars. This story really interested Nasir. On one of those days, Nasir was watching his head and playing his flute. He suddenly saw a wonderful light behind a flower bush. When he approached the bush, he saw a transparent and very beautiful crystal ball. The crystal ball was glittering like a colorful rainbow. Nasir carefully took it in his hand and turned it around. With surprise, suddenly he heard a weak voice coming from the crystal ball. It said, "You can make a wish that your heart desires, and I will fulfill it." Nasir couldn't believe that he had actually heard a voice when he had made sure that he had indeed heard that voice from the crystal ball. He was very confused. He had so many wishes that he could not decide upon on one particular wish. He said to himself, "If I wait till tomorrow, I will remember many things, then I will make my wish." He put the crystal ball in a bag and gathering the herd happily returned to the village. He decided that he would not tell to anyone about the crystal ball. On the following day also, Nasir couldn't decide what to wish for because he really had everything he needed. The days passed as usual, but Nasir was still unable to make his wish. But he appeared to be very cheerful. The people around him were amazed to see the change in his disposition. One day, a boy followed Nasir and his herd and hid behind a tree. As usual, Nasir sat in one corner, took out the crystal ball, and for a few minutes looked as and it. The boy waited for the moment when Nasir would go to the sleep. When Nasir did fall asleep, after a while, the boy took the crystal ball and ran away. When he arrived at the village, he called all the people and showed them up the crystal ball. The citizens of that village took the crystal ball in their hands and turned into around with surprise. Suddenly, they heard a voice from inside the crystal ball which said, "I can fulfill your wish." One person took the ball and screamed, "I want one bag full of gold." Another took the ball and said loudly, "I want two chests full of jewelry." Some of them wished that they would have their own palace with a grand door made from pure gold. Instead of their old houses, some others wished for bags full of jewelry. All their wishes were fulfilled, but still the citizens of the village were not happy. They were jealous because the persons that had a palace had no gold, and the person that had the gold has no palace. For this reason, the citizens of the village were angry with each other and stopped speaking to each other. The gardens of the village where children used to play were no more. There were palaces and golden everywhere. The children became terribly happy. Only Nasir and his family were happy and contented. Every morning and the afternoon he would play the flute. One day, the children of the village took the crystal ball to Nasir. The children said to Nasir, "When we had a small village, we all were happy and joyful." The parents also spoke. They said, "In one way or another, all of us are unhappy. The luxurious palaces and jewelry only bring us pain." When Nasir saw the people were really regretful, he said, "Even though the crystal ball asked me to wish for something, I have not done it so far. But if you really wanted everything to return to its own place, then I will wish for it." Everyone happily agreed. Nasir took the crystal ball in his hand, turned it around, and wished the village would become the same as it was before. In a moment, the palaces disappear. Moral of the story is, old is gold.